Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is our sixth video in the series of two pawn endgame and second video of the after promotion. In the previous video of the two pawn endgame, we were discussing queen versus seventh rank pawn. Queen versus seventh rank pawn could be end up as a draw if opponent have either rook or the bishop's pawn on the board. And if it's not, then you can easily use the zigzag method and win the game from that particular position. So if you want to check out our previous video, which is related to queen versus seventh rank pawn, I will share you the link in the description box. But let me tell you this, queen versus seventh rank bishop or the rook pawn is not draw in all the cases. So if you want to learn what are the particular position of your king which make queen versus seventh rank bishop and the rook pawn win for you, then let's start today's position and try to learn that. Look into this position. Here black pawn is on the g2 square and white pawn is on the a6 square. It's a black to play. So black is just one square away from the pawn promotion. Let me remind you about the previous position. If you remember the previous position, the black's king is on the g2 square. But in this case, black king is on the a4 square. This is a clearly winning for the black, even if white have a rook pawn on the board. Let me draw the line. What are the possible square that your king could be? If your king is on the between a4 to the d4 or between e5 to the e8 square, you can win against the white's rook pawn. Let's start and try to see how black can win from this position. Black move its pawn to the g1 and try to promote. White move its pawn to the a7. And now from here, you can give the check with queen to g7 check. Here, white clear cut have an option. Either king can go to the b6 or the a8 square. Let's start. What if king goes to the b6 square? We'll give check from the d4. King again have to go back to the b7 to defend its pawn. Queen to d7 check. Here again, white have an option either d6, either b6 or the a8. If king goes to the a8, queen to c8 is a checkmate. And if again king goes to the b6, we'll move our queen to the c8. And if you observe the properly, all the king squares are blocked. White have to promote with the queen, which is undefended. Of course, queen is giving check, but black can easily take the queen, and black is queen up in the game. So black can easily win from this position. Let's again go back to the position when queen is giving the g7 check. Here, king also have an option, king to a8. This is a slightly interesting position because now we will not giving any more check, but we will simply move our king to the b5. You may surprise. Now again, white have to move out. Its king goes to the b8. We'll again move our king to the b6. Here you also feel surprised that white can immediately promote because its king is not under check. If white promotes with the queen, we can easily do checkmate with queen to c7. It's a dead checkmate for the white. So white maybe will not promote with the queen, or he will try to promote with the knight to give you the check. But that's not a difficult task for you because now it's a queen versus knight and you can easily win just like king to c6. It doesn't matter where will knight go. If knight try to come out, we can take the knight either with the king or the queen. And next, like white have to take some move. If we try to move its king, we'll give b7 check, king to d8, and queen to d7 is checkmate. So from this position, you can clearly see if your king is between a4 to the d4 or the e5 to the e8 square, you can easily win 7th rank rook's pawn. So now let's see what could be your king's position against the 7th rank bishop pawn. Look into this position. In this position, for a change, we kept our pawn on the b2 square. So black pawn is just one square away from the pawn promotion and white have a bishop's pawn. Black king is on the a4 square. This is a win position for the black. Let me draw the line for the black's king. If black king is between a4 to the d4, d5, d5 to g5, and to g8. If you can clearly see the lines on the board, if black king is either any of this square or inside the square, this is a winning position for the black. Let's see how this is a winning position for the black. Black promote with the queen, white to c7, queen to b5 check, king clear cut have an option. Either king can go to the d8, d6 or the c6 square. If king is going to the d8 square, we'll start giving check from the d5. Here again king have an option. Either king can hide behind the pawn like the c8 Then we'll start pushing our king closer to the pawn. And if king goes to the e7 square or the e8 square, we'll bring our queen to the c6 square, attacking on the pawn. Again, white have to move its king closer to the pawn, and again queen to d6 check. Now it's attack on the pawn, and king is also under check. White have to move its king to the c8 square, king to b5. Now we'll start moving our king closer to the pawn. King to b7. Again, black will move its king to queen to the d7, king to b8, king to b6. We are bringing our king closer. It doesn't matter even if white promote with the queen, we can simply give checkmate with queen to a7. So this idea doesn't work. Let's go what if after queen to d5 check, king goes to the c8 square. Here again, likewise, we'll do the in previous part, we'll start moving our king closer to the pawn, king to b5. King have to go to the b8 square because that's the only safe square for the white king. We'll move our queen to the e5, trying to pin the pawn. Again, king either can go to the b7 or the c8 square. If king goes to the b7, we'll simply move our queen to the g7. Again, pinning the pawn. If king goes to the b8 square, we'll move our king again closer to the b6. If we promote with the queen, we'll simply move our queen to the a7 and we can checkmate like this. That's all for today's video. If you like the video, press the like button and do subscribe to our channel for more informative video related to chess.